Welcome to the Barefoot Flower Girl, Jodie Zahner, as she shares her mountain floral design. Masses of flowers, fabulous fun people, everyone all abuzz. We didn't have enough tables, so we had to limit the event to 30 people. And boy, did they have fun clipping and fluffing. But Jodie Zahner really stole the show. She whipped together two magnificent floral arrangements and she told us how she manages the exhibitions over at the Highlands Country Club, and we got to learn from the elbow of a master. Here's some fun pictures of happy goers. Everyone got to take home a flower exhibit, so enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Landscape Your Life. In case you all haven't figured it out, you're here for the Floral Design Workshop. And as is our custom, absolutely, we have the White Rabbit. And every one of you became familiar with him today. And you're going to win the Easy Cut Flower Garden if your name is pulled. Is this not nice? Because we're here all being florists. And as is our custom, when Janet Keller is here, she gets to pull the name from the magic White Rabbit. How are you doing today, Janet?
Doing great, thank you.
Janet's a graduate of last year's wonderful Garden Talk Salon. She's a very dear friend, and we're so glad she's here today, too, with her mother, who's on the back row. Okay, let's close your eyes. Think who would be most deserving in this room. Think of that 20 I gave
It's a big one.
Oh, Mary
Hartson.
Very good. Welcome. It's your first time here. You won big. Run this down to Mary. That'd be great. We're so glad to have you. So I'm going to put the White Rabbit, if you wouldn't mind putting it, actually, shall we put it on top of those flowers? Let me just move the cute little flower pot. Push it back. Or just push the flowers back. Are those somebody's special flowers? No. We'll just put it right
Flower right in it.
Or on the, how about on, yeah, that's what There you go. So, we are going to have a pretty amazing class today. And if you've not, how many of y'all have been to one of the Garden Talk Salons before? First raise your hands. Oh, this is great. So we have about half of you are brand new. How many of y'all are guests of someone who's come to a Garden Talk Salon before? We've got several back here. Yes, very good. So you've been told that this is a pretty hip and cool thing to do, right? It is. It's amazing, and as you may or may not know, this is a hobby for me. I'm a landscape architect, and long ago I was a professor at Clemson University in landscape architecture and planning, and I always loved to have an audience as a result. You know, you kind of get that when you're a professor. And I was also the director of education at Tennessee Botanical Garden, Cheekwood in Nashville, Tennessee, when I was like 23 years old. So yay! And that was a long time ago, and when I worked there I decided maybe I would go and get a white-collar job, and become a landscape architect. So I've got my master's at LSU and really have always loved practicing to help people create their most exquisite and sustainable home environment so they can reach their highest and best purpose in life. It's so that your garden wraps its arms around you and it fits your lifestyle like a glove. And that's what I specialize in. So if you ever need help, I'm here to help you. And just don't think that we do large, grand things all the time. We love to do them too, but we really want to work with you, with your special home, and do consultations, etc. So that wasn't really a commercial break, but at least you know a little bit more about me. But I really enjoy sharing the talents of our unique region of Cashiers Highlands Plateau. And the Zahner family, how many of y'all heard Jeff Zahner or Glenda Zahner earlier in the lecture series? They rocked. And Glenda joined us again earlier in the month of June to talk about the birds and the bees and flowers and the trees, which was spectacular. And that video series is all on our Garden Talk Salon website, which is at dargan.com. So you can see all of these videos in case you missed one, which you probably do because you do other things besides this. But I love making these little videos. And so some of them are 25 minutes long, some are broken into segments that are 15 minutes, so they're pretty watchable. They're home movies. We're filming right now. They're home movies. So if you may find the back of your head in a picture, I won't ask you to give a testimonial or anything, but just know that I don't mean to put you on the spot if you show up in a little snippet of this film. It's just part of what happens when you're filming live. I'm not a professional filmer either, but I do like this film. Last week we had Carl Peverall here,
who created the exquisite sculptures that you've seen adorning our grounds. That's a sculpture exhibition which will be here until they're all at somebody else's home. They're very much for sale. We've already placed 4 of them. It is spectacular and wonderful and a great honor to have Carl Peverall sculptures here. He is extremely well known and honored in all the major sculpture installation competitions in the East Coast. And he just came back from New Zealand where he was honored to be one of the like 64 think tank craftsman artists that came to a 1 week long thing where they all just buzz along together. It's really amazing to see his work. So if you don't know him, his videos are quite profound to understand how an artist brings forth when he sees his muse, he brings forth his inspiration, he creates something like co-creation out here, or father and son, which is right in front of the building on this side. I have goosebumps telling you all this because listening to Carl speak has made me see art in the land in a completely different way, and I also recognize art in trees and stones more than I ever have before, and I've been doing this since I was a Girl Scout. So that's how good he is. He's actually going to be wandering through the property later this morning because he's taking the fountain in the back garden, which if you haven't seen, it's called Crest and Calm, and it's going over to a home in Highlands. So you may see him with his huge tripod, it's 12 feet tall, pulling up and down on the pulleys to make the stones come together to put them in his trailer and take them away. So that's what he does. It's very interesting. So go be friendly if you see him. Let's see, we have, next week we have Doug Self is going to be here on Saturday, not Friday, because we have the Joy Garden Tour. Are any of y'all, do you have tickets? Y'all going on the garden tour? They're hard to get. The hardest ticket, I think, in the country to get is the tour ticket itself. But come and see us. We have a shop that'll be on the stage, which is sort of a new thing for me. And then Doug Self is also going to have a little shop booth there. And then he's going to come here on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Please support him. He's to come. It's free. But come here at 10. Bring your guests free. Listen to him talk about the history and technique of pressed flowers, you know, after they die. And what do you do with them? Well, he presses them and makes them into works of art like I've never seen. And he, like Carl Peverall, contacted us because they heard about the series. They wanted to, well, actually, Carl contacted us for 2 different reasons, and he sort of founded our series. But Doug really wanted to share his gifts with you all. So please come back and see him 10 o'clock next Saturday. And then you can go over to the green, go shopping or whatever, but come here first. We'd like to have you. And then the series goes on the weekend after that. I'm going to be doing a miniature gardens lecture workshop, which is $25. I may have, actually, I've just changed that to being free. So let's say that that's free, and that we want you to bring your children and family so you don't feel like you have to pay the money to come to it, because it would just be fun for you all to know how to design miniature gardens. So please bring your family and friends to do that. I'd love to have you here. And then at the end of the month, we have Gardens on the Hoof, which is a garden study outing. It's 3 hours long with lunch, and you go to see quite a few of my best works in the nearby area where we can drive to and still get back sort of on time. And you get to learn, sort of at my side, we only take 12 people. We really do only take 12 people. And to go and do this with me. So I would love for you to come. We have about 4 spots left if you want to do that. So with all of that said, that's $150, I think. And then I have something larger than that later in the year, but this is what we're doing in this month of July. We're covered by Flower magazine. I don't know if y'all realize that. We're right next to the masthead with all of our schedule. We appeared first on the list of things to do in Flower magazine's world. This issue of August, I can't tell you how nice it was to see that on the top. Yes, that was so cool. And it helps that the publisher's in my garden club from Atlanta. But no, Julie Dorsey's very cool, and she is in my garden club, and we also do take an ad out in Flowers, so it wasn't like she just did it for us, but they've been hearing good things about our Garden Talk Salon, and they wanted to support it, and I'm very honored by that. The Bascom has a big event coming up in August, which you all need to support. Please do. It's different from what it's been before. They actually have a landscape horticultural symposium, and there's information about that both in Flower and also online at the Bascom. So it's a new way they're doing their outreach to get art in the garden together. So it's exciting. I'm not involved in that except I get to go see it and be there, which is fun. You all probably know I'm Mary Palmer Dargan at this point. I don't think I've ever introduced myself, but that's all right. But it gives me great pleasure, roll those drums, to introduce our friend Jodie Zahner, the Barefoot Gardener. The Barefoot Flower Girl. And Jodie and I have gotten
gotten into a lot of trouble together. Her shop is just down the road. Her husband's Jeff Zahner, her mother-in-law is Glenda Zahner, and we have Jodie, who's like the best of the best. She's won every award imaginable at the Bascom Mountains in Bloom you have, and she's won major awards at the Southeastern Flower Show. She is humble, she's amusing, she's brilliant, and she's my friend. Thank you so much.
And she's a fabulous dancer.
Yeah, fabulous dancer.
And she's cute too.
Now I have to live up to all this?
You do. And you have to design and talk at the same time.
Crazy.
So, let me tell you a little bit of how Jodie, and I did this. She said, "Oh, Mary Palmer, that's like, what is it, at the Highlands Country Club, she does all of their stuff. It's member guest this weekend." And they forgot to tell her. So she said, you know, by the way, if you can get any kind of extra stuff from the woods and bring it, and, you know, we'll kind of combine things. So I went out with my clippers, and one reason why we have gloves to share with all of y'all, leave them if you would, but if you really want to take one of these bright pink things home, you can. My husband picked these out for you at Walmart, by the way, yesterday. We do have a lot of blackberry, and so the blackberry really loosens up your arrangements, I think, and she's going to share with us, and we've got some so we've got some weird stuff from the woods that you too could just go out and get. So that was what I did, was the weird stuff from the woods. Jodie has like the fabulous, gorgeous, everything, so I won't steal your thunder because girl, you got it. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad to have you. All right, everybody.
Okay.
Listen at the elbow of a master.
Okay.
Now she's just scaring me. It's good to be here this morning, and I have to say Mary Palmer is one of the most energetic, dynamic people I know, and she's doing so much for cashers. It's just amazing. So I'm happy to be here today, and I'm going to do 2 arrangements to show you. I'm going to do one for the country club. I do the weekly flowers there. It's about 55 to 60 arrangements a week. Some of those are little. They get 50 table arrangements, and some are just tiny. So I'm going to do one that's going to feature these. So what I'm going to do with this. Okay, so,
Wow.
okay, I go in and I stole these.
Want me to hold them? Want me to hold them for you while you...
Well, I'm gonna. Maybe I'll do that. Well, no. Okay. Yeah, if you would hold it, that would just be a great idea. So what we're gonna do with this. Now, I've done this trick before, okay? And I've even drilled a hole in a golf ball so I could hang it from the middle. I did not get around to that today, I will say. But the last time I did this with using Oasis, and I'm really getting away from using Oasis because there we go. Very good. Because it doesn't break down. I'm gonna wait a minute. We need to go just a little bit more on her. There we go. Okay. So, all right, that's pretty good. Don't use it because I don't like to have to throw it out at the end of the week. And I'm gonna have a trick to make that stay in place. So, and I'm also gonna cover this. And I might actually do some of that later, but I just want you to, I'm going to need to get the scale off of this, you know. So I think you can let go now. Okay.
Jodie, what do you call that? Is that some kind of special wire?
This is a wire that's coated with Raffia. I think I'm done with it, so you can pass it around. It's just any floral supply place will have it. Okay, so actually it does look pretty good. I'm going to fluff it later. Mary Palmer picked some bittersweet vine, which I thought I had a little here. I get a little piece of it here. So, bittersweet, hand me a piece with the greenery on it.
Smell just fine.
Okay, so bittersweet is not one of my, it's fabulous for flower arranging. It is eating up our forests. It is a bad invasive. If you don't have it on your property, don't get it. The birds might bring it. It is probably our #1 aggressive species. So,
What is this called?
bittersweet. It's called bittersweet. It has the beautiful orange berries. Everybody loves it. Okay, and that's why it's everywhere. But it is a tough aggressive. So probably.
Stay tuned for part 2 of a 3-part lecture by Jodie.